Scott, you have been a hero of mine for quite... Scott, you've been a hero of mine for quite some time. I'm J.K. Rowling. I wrote the Harry Potter book. It's me. Hello. Hello, bruv. So you may have heard of this guy named Wet Mulch, or as he's better known, Matt Walsh. I still messed it up a little bit. That was my third try. And he released what he calls a documentary, but I like to call it a cockumentary, both because it's hilarious and also because it's not a documentary. It's just a string of lies and misrepresentations throughout an entire 1 hour and 35 minutes. How do I know it's 1 hour and 35 minutes off the top of my head? Well, because I'm looking at it on Elon Musk's page. Pinned to his profile even. Interesting, right? He says every parent should watch this. Wow. Wow. For those who don't know what this movie is, it's called What is a Woman? And it's basically just a big transphobic hullabaloo, okay? And now it's free, which was always the plan, of course. I was actually surprised they didn't release it for free to begin with. Because I think the Daily Wire as a corporation has a primary goal. Matt Walsh is really good. I should have gone with that. Has a primary goal of income and profit generation. So Matt Walsh put together this, what he calls a documentary, but it's basically just a bunch of lies about trans people. It's called What is a Woman? It's blatantly dishonest. It's horrible. I've watched it in Shark300's Discord when he was watching it live with a bunch of people in there. And it's just a shit show. You know, it's really bad. And there actually are experts who speak in it. And he just, Matt just decides that conveniently that like the experts that he speaks to aren't worth his time. And so he pulls tricks. Let me see if I can find it real quick, actually. Basically, there was a college professor that he talked to and he skipped through the entire explanation that the college professor gave of like the difference between gender and sex or something, or like what a woman is. And this guy was like really trying because he thought Matt Walsh was asking a genuine question, but Matt Walsh is a piece of shit. So of course he wasn't. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up is not specifically to talk about this movie. It's to talk about somebody who was in the movie. Trans man Scott Newgent is what his name is, Scott Newgent. And this is his segment in this Matt Walsh movie. And the reason that we're going over him is because I'm debating him tomorrow night. Crazy, right? I'm debating him tomorrow night. And so this is partly to bring attention to the fact that Elon Musk is a fascist piece of shit, but also to bring attention to the fact that I'm debating this guy. And we're going to do a quick research stream on him, a quick research segment, I should say, to get an idea of what his views are and how best to combat things that he says. Because one of the difficult parts of debating trans people, like transphobes, is they are trans. It's like debating racist black people or homophobic gay people. They have that on their side. So they have a leg up on you already, right? But the leg up that I have on them is I'm correct and they're not. And that's more important. The other thing I have on them is I'm probably better at debate than they are. And that's really important. So we're going to see what's going on with this guy, what his views and beliefs are, what he espouses, how to combat his points, so that hopefully I can, I can bring a good debate to him tomorrow night. So let's see what's going on. And this is from the Matt Walsh documentary.
I never fit. I was an alpha
Quote-unquote
female, a sales executive that kind of just didn't fit in any box. When psychologists or somebody that I was in love with or whatever said that I was in the wrong body, I started to think, well, maybe I am. I'm a biological woman that
So right off the bat, biological woman is turf speak for trans man.
medically transitioned to appear like a male through synthetic hormones and surgery.
He is at this point more male than he is female, just so you know. Like, sex organs notwithstanding, everything else about his body is flagrantly male.
Never be a man. Is it transphobic for me?
Also saying I'll never be a man is just wrong. And also transphobic.
To tell the truth?
Yes.
Why is it that a couple hundred years from now, if you dug up my body...
See, he lured me into that. He's winning the debate, and we're not even debating it. Fuck!
They're gonna go, yeah, that was a woman.
No, it's not transphobic to tell the truth, but it is transphobic to say you're not a man, because you are a man. Because you're trans man. You're a trans man. Anyway.
Had babies.
You're trans, man.
Tell me about the procedures that you had.
I've had 7 surgeries. I've had 1 stress heart attack. I've had a helicopter life ride with a pulmonary embolism. I've had 17 rounds of antibiotics. I had 6 inches of hair on the inside of my urethra for 17 months. Nobody would help me, including the doctor that did this to me because I lost my insurance. I get infections every 3 to 4 months. I'm probably not gonna live very long.
Was there
Okay, so what I'm getting just from this video, and I could be wrong, but what I'm hearing is that he's going to bring a lot of his personal experience to the conversation tomorrow night. And that's very, very easy to combat, by the way. It seems hard, but it's very easy because here's how you do it. You say, listen, I am sorry that you are having those experiences. That sucks. And I truly hope that that gets better for you. But the overwhelming majority, as the stats show, of people who undergo these procedures do not regret it. They are happy with who they are and how they look and how they present. They're happy with it. They're satisfied. The data shows it. And then the inevitable counter to that is, oh, so I'm just, you're just leaving me behind, leaving people like me behind. We're just part of the cost, right? Cost of doing business. Just throw me to the side. To which I would say to this guy specifically, well, you still are a trans man, aren't you? You didn't detransition, did you? So clearly something went correct. I mean, but the real answer is, it kind of is the cost of doing business because you can't have a perfect medical system. You can't. Never. There will always be mistakes because the people who work in medicine are fucking humans. Okay? And I'm very sorry that that happened to him, but shit happens. I'm sorry. Shit happens. And apparently it happens infrequent enough in this type of procedure that the vast, like overwhelming majority of people are happy with it. You happen to not be one of them, I'm sorry. But the overwhelming majority are, and you want to take that away from them because you personally had a bad experience, right? It's like saying, well, my 12-year-old got decapitated by a seatbelt, so I think that seatbelts should be illegal. Fuck you. No, nobody would say that. That's insane. Oh, so it's just the cost of doing business that some people get decapitated by seatbelts? Yes, idiot. Yes. Yes. Because 99% of the time, seatbelts help. Don't take them away from everybody just because one bad thing happened to somebody that you know or to you. That's insane. We wouldn't apply this logic anywhere else except trans people because we hate them, right? Not we in this community, but as a society, we tend to hate them. It just sucks.
there any real discussion?
Matt
of
Walsh would be kind of hot if he wasn't. Ugh. I'm going to pretend you didn't say that.
the risks and the side effects and
No. No, there's not.
Not even worth an insult.
And I know that people want to think that there is, but there's not. The truth is that medical transition is experimental.
Speed it up a little bit.
We have studies that said that medical transition helps mental health with kids. They've all been retracted, modified, changed. But the only long-term study tells us 7 to 10 years is when transgender people are the most suicidal. After surgery.
Is that true? Where is the data for that? Wait, hold on. Is he pulling that from that Swedish study? Where is he getting that? Hold on. Regret after gender affirmation surgery, systematic review and meta-analysis of prevalence. Conclusions based on this review, there's an extremely low prevalence of regret in transgender patients after GAS. Where is he getting that data? Does anybody know what study he's pulling that from? Honestly, I don't even really need to look for it because the way that you combat this is you ask them to present the study that they got it from. You say source bro. You just source bro. Okay? I know that sounds like a dirty debate bro tactic, but it is a good one. Add it to your arsenal if you are a debate bro. Source. Give me your source. He will provide the source, and inevitably, it will be one of two things. One, it will be a legit source from a legit scientific organization, and you can, go through the studies, go through the conclusion, and see that more times than not, they drew an incorrect conclusion from the data, right? Or misinterpreted the study. Purposefully or accidentally, that's what happens. The other possibility is that it is a farcical study, like it's just done by an organization that's not trustworthy, like what is it? The pediatric. What's that fake organization that sounds medical? Fake medical org pediatric. Fake medical organization publishes lie-ridden manifesto attacking trans kids. The American College of Pediatricians. There it is. Fake org. Sounds legit, right? Nope. Let's go to the American College of Pediatricians page. Actually, I kind of want to see their Wikipedia. Hell yeah. Wikipedia is based again, baby. Pulling through for us. The American College of Pediatricians, ACP EDS. is a socially conservative advocacy group of pediatricians and other healthcare professionals in the United States, founded in 2002. The group's primary focus is advocating against abortion rights and against rights for gay, queer, and trans people. AC PEDS promotes conversion therapy and purity culture. As of 2022, its members have been reported at about 700 physicians. The organization's view on parenting differs from the position of the American Academy of Pediatrics, which holds that sexual orientation has no connection with the ability to be a good parent and raise healthy and well-adjusted children. AC PEDS has been listed as a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center for publishing, quote, anti-LGBTQ junk science, end quote. A number of mainstream researchers, including the director of the U.S. National Institutes of Health, have accused AC PEDS of misusing or mischaracterizing their work to advance AC PEDS' political agenda. So there you go. Don't fall for it. They're not a legit organization. They just named themselves something that sounds legit so they can shill junk science. If somebody says that they're getting their source from this place, you can pitch it, burn it, say that's bullshit. Nope, sorry, that's bullshit, not real. And then if you really want to stick it to them, say, why does that conflict so heavily with the American Academy of Pediatrics? Because they can provide that one source if they want. And if you just say it's wrong, it's bad, that might not be the best look. But if you can say it's wrong, it's bad, and it disagrees with this other very well-renowned American Academy of Pediatrics, now you got them on the back foot, right?
But that's transphobic to say.
Puberty blockers, which are completely reversible and don't have permanent effects, are wonderful because we can put that pause on puberty. Just like if you were listening to music, you put the pause on and we stop.
So we're no longer on the guy that we'll be debating, but we'll just keep watching since I have it up.
Blockers, and puberty would go right back to where it was. The next note in the song just delayed that period of time.
You can just pause puberty.
No, you can't.
Oh,
and
he's
then
like
pick it up
No, you
in
can't.
the future.
No, you can't.
Okay, so I don't think this guy's a medical professional, and I think that other woman is. So take that how you will. They want everyone to be like them and seek harm to everyone who isn't. That's conservatism for you. Does Walsh cite the American College of Pediatrics as a positive source? I'm 1,000% sure that he does.
How many studies do they have, long-term studies, on hormone blockers with children? None. For the
Man, I want puberty blockers. Puke, if you... It's so funny to say that out loud. Puke, if you are a trans youth, my friend is on puberty blockers and they're absolutely working for her. If you are a trans youth, there are some things that you can do. There are some orgs that you can look at, but I don't know if it's my place to like give you that info. I don't know, if anybody in the chat has any resources that can help this person, feel free to share them.
first time in history, a marginalized group has a huge dollar sign on the top of their head. Every child that they...
Hold on a minute. The first time? For the first time? Hello? We've been doing this with marginalized communities at every fucking turn. All the time. It rakes in the big ones. Yeah, Guitar Rocker, on the same length, same wavelength. This person regrets transition, or are they just bug angeling it? They're just bug angeling it. If they regretted it, why are they still a man? Here's what I would be willing to do. I would be willing to buy the narrative that this person still identifies as a man because it'd be harder to transition back to a woman and have people be confused by that. I can see that. But like, I heard from one trans man was like, well, I don't want to go back because I don't want to, I feel like I would still look like a man. And if I go into women's bathrooms, it would make them uncomfortable. So I'm going to do the saintly thing and just remain a man, even though I want to be a woman. Fuck you. No, that's not how that works. Yeah, fuck you. I'd be more willing to believe him if he weren't a complete grifting piece of shit.
convinced is transgender and in need of medical transition, it generates
want that US gay
$1.3 million to
Consume!
pharma. And we're believing a pharmaceutical company, Lupron, hormone blockers, reversible, so they say. Well, the truth is that in 2003, Lupron was sued and deemed a criminal enterprise by the US government. They paid the most fine of any pharmaceutical company at that time, $874 million, wrote a check.
Is Lupron chemical castration?
Hold on.
Prize by the US government
Who was sued?
and deemed a criminal enterprise.
Lupron is a drug. It's not an organization. What is this? Company agrees to pay $875 million to settle a lawsuit. The lawsuit has nothing to do with puberty blockers for trans people. Boston, MA. United States Attorney Michael J. Sullivan, Department of Health and Human Services Inspector General Janet, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I need like a summary. Case settled. Judge Richard Stearns issued a preliminary approval of the proposed settlement between TAP Pharmaceuticals and the class. Under the terms of the settlement, $150 million will be paid by TAP on behalf of all defendants. Prosecute a lawsuit against TAP Pharmaceutical Products Incorporated on behalf of the class of consumers of third-party payers who purchased the drug Lupron. The lawsuit comprised of many federal cases consolidating the United States District Court for the District of Massachusetts and Boston, charged that TAP Pharmaceutical Products Incorporated, Abbott Laboratories, and Takeda Pharmaceutical Company Limited conspired to fraudulently market, sell, and distribute Lupron, causing consumers to pay inflated prices for the drug. Wait, the lawsuit is about inflated prices. It's not about the drug doing any harm to anybody. It's because they were inflating the price. That'd be like somebody suing a diabetic company. You're not going to take away insulin from people because they're charging too much for the insulin. What? Wait, does this person know the lawsuit that they're referring to? Is this from 2002? Is this the one from 2002? File date 12/01/2004. Oh my God, this is the lawsuit they're talking about. Well, oh my God. I'm so glad that we're doing this segment because I'm gonna be armed to the fucking teeth for this debate. That is such utter bullshit. Holy shit. Yeah, they charge too much for they were saying, no, it's not that the Luprons are hurting us. It's that it's helping us and we can't afford it. Oh my God, what a dishonest piece of shit. I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, which I don't know why. He's in a Marsh Warsh documentary, but like, oh my God. You're preparing for a debate? That's why you're watching this? Yeah, we're debating this guy tomorrow night.
Prize by the US government. They paid the most fine of any pharmaceutical company at that time, $874 million, wrote a check.
Is Lupron chemical castration?
Yes.
Make sure there isn't a different lawsuit they're talking about. I don't think there is. In October 2001, TAP agreed to pay $875 million to resolve civil and criminal liabilities in connection with its pricing and marketing of Lupron. It's the same lawsuit. It's just about the price. Oh my God. You know what? I'm bookmarking this.
That's a surprise tool that can help us later.
Yeah. Well, it's a surprise tool that can help us later.
We're giving it to pedophiles, aren't we? We're giving it to people that are dying, and we're giving it to kids, telling them that they were born in the wrong body and it's completely safe. We're telling children when they haven't fully developed that all you have to do is medically transition and you fit in. I was one of those kids.
No, wrong. That's not how that works.
It got me at 42. Your child doesn't have.
Another thing that I anticipate is if I call him out on that, he's going to say, how do you know about my experience? What about my experience? And I'll be like, your experience is valid. If that happened to you, I'm very sorry, but that's not the experience of the overwhelming majority of people who go through this, as demonstrated by the data. So I have no reason to capitulate to your experience and your takeaway from that.
What do you say to parents? A parent comes to you and says, my 8-year-old son is telling me he's a girl.
It's fine,
Great.
Master.
You're going to have them do an experimental procedure that creates the most suicidal ideation of any other population 7 to 10 years after, transition. And here's what I tell parents.
Yeah, I don't know where he's getting that.
Don't have the right to medically transition your child.
Oh, and here I thought we were real big on parents' rights, but I guess not, huh?
Can kids consent? Do you think kids
Interesting.
are
No.
capable of consenting to this?
No, they're not. Being a parent is loving the hell out of your kids.
Kids cannot consent to anything ever at all. No medical treatments, no school, no food, no shelter, no events, no car rides, nothing. They cannot consent to anything. They're kids. Like, okay, a kid can't consent to a vaccine. I guess we don't give it to him. That's so fucking dumb. Are you debating the trans guy Walsh is talking to? Yes.
Down corners.
Very excited.
We have 5 children's hospitals in the United States promoting that.
What?
That's a phalloplasty. That's a bottom surgery. We have.
Wait, my upper arm looks worse than that. Look at my upper arm. The reason that I'm not wearing sleeveless shirts lately, guys, is because I have really bad acne on my upper arm. And the reason that I have bad acne on my upper arms, both of them, is because I have stretch marks there from when I bulked in high school for football. You can't use a fucking scar to justify your point. It's a healed scar, bro. Do you know how many trans men would get a scar that looks like 100 times worse than that one to feel the way that you do after your procedures? I hate these ladder pullers, dude. I hate them so fucking much.
Children's
I got
hospitals
mine.
in the United States telling girls that they can be boys at $70,000 a pop.
He's probably watching right now. I highly doubt that. There's some names I don't know in viewers. Maybe he is. I don't know. I did send him my stream, so maybe he is.
In a surgery that has a 67% complication rate, that will kill me from infection, that I can't sue on. We're butchering a generation of children because nobody's willing to talk about anything. I have 3 kids at the age that they're doing this to kids.
Okay.
I'm not transphobic. I love my kids.
Cap.
And I love other people's kids.
I'm sure he loves his kids, but he is definitely transphobic.
You should too. This is wrong. On so many levels.
Why? Yeah, I don't want to take that away from him. I'm sure he does love his kids, but he is definitely transphobic. Okay, so that was one part of this segment, but this is a research segment, so obviously that's not going to be it. Candace Owens is also against vaccines. Oh yeah, they're just all anti-medicine. It's great. He's being dramatic as fuck. I don't know if it's real or not. I can't get into his head. Like, it seems like real tears. I don't know. Maybe he's imbibed this and poisoned his brain. Either way, the outcome's the same, and I'm not putting up with that shit. Here is a tweet from him. Must watch and please give a retweet. This from March. The trans hero, quote unquote, in Matt Walsh's documentary, What is a Woman, silences an entire room of reporters in a live press conference about, quote, medically transitioning children. Is this the same guy? Wait, is this the same guy? I know that Scott Newgent is the one. Either way, this is going to be relevant because if he's retweeting stuff like this, he believes everything in this video. So we're going to watch it anyway. He doesn't look like the same guy, but it is like a bad camera. So I don't know. I don't remember there being two trans guys that were grifters in the film. I think it is him. Yep. Okay, it's him. Didn't take long.
My name's Scott Nugent. I'm a lesbian, and I'm a trans man. But my most important role is that of a parent to 3 incredible children. I'm a mother.
I'm a trans man. But I'm also a mother. Please love me. Please, am I grifting hard enough, Daddy? Oh, Daddy, am I grifting hard enough? Fuck off, dude.
A woman
That's so
who has
gross.
given birth and carried life. I'm here today to put an end to the idea that medically transitioning children is about human rights. It is not.
So much space take on screen. I know, they could have at least reduced the outline a little bit. Come on, man. Come on. This ain't a fucking YouTube thumbnail. And if it were, it'd be too wordy. But anyway.
It's about money.
Okay, easy debunk. Every medical procedure is about money. Every single one. If you want to get rid of medicine as an institution, sure. But if you want to, just say it should be free then. It should be free. Make it free.
Market research predicts that gender-affirming care will generate more than $5 billion a year in less than a decade. The truth is that medical transition is experimental, dangerous.
Prove it.
And it doesn't cure anything.
Wrong. It cures gender dysphoria, which is a good thing to cure. People are very satisfied. Another advantage I have that I've noticed in a lot of these debates is that I'm a nurse. And the reason that's an advantage is not just because I'm a healthcare professional, but also because we learn things in nursing that I've noticed a lot of debate bros just don't know, right? Like Vosh never brings these points up or anything, which Vosh is a great debater, but he doesn't know this point of like a subjective assessment, right? The subjective assessment entails anything that you cannot obviously objectively measure. So that would be things like pain level, anxiety, depression, gender dysphoria, things of that nature. In a subjective assessment, you ask somebody things about their mental well-being. That's part of it. It's not all of it, but it's part of it. If they tell you that, hey, this treatment, this procedure really helped me, doc, thanks. Like, I feel so much better. I'm more positive, outgoing, etc. Yes, that's subjective, but it's also real. It's just as real as their pain. It's just as real as their happiness, their sadness, their anxiety. It's just as real as their thoughts, their desires, their love, their hate. It's just as real as all of that. So if you want to just reduce humans to robots that need to be objectively measured about every little thing that they do and say, I guess you can do that. But I like subjectivity. Pretty cool to have an objective dysphoria assessment, but that would require too much brain scanning. Yeah, exactly. Like, you can do a brain scan, but think about it. Like, when people are trying to make an assertion about whether somebody's in pain or not, in nursing, you just ask, are you in pain? And they say yes or no. If they say yes, they're in pain. You don't do a brain scan. You don't recommend them for other treatments or psychiatric assessments. You just say, okay, you're in pain. Here's a Tylenol. You ask them a few more questions about it and you decide what we should do for them. That's it. That's it. And nobody has a problem with it. Nobody. Okay? Yet here we are with another subjective assessment, and now the government wants to put their boot down and get in the way. Fuck that. No, not gonna have it.
Question. There's only 7 studies that stated that medically transitioning children is beneficial, and every single one of them has either been modified with not enough time or participants, or, oops, we were sorry, Yet these are the
Okay, so actually the studies that are done were pretty robust, I'm pretty sure. Not all of them, but many of them were very robust. There's like a meta-analysis of like 42 studies or some really stupid shit. New analysis conducted by researchers at the What We Know Project at an initiative, blah, blah, blah. Reviewed more than 25 years of scholarship transgender mental health and found a strong consensus that undergoing gender transition can improve the well-being of transgender people. The year-long review screened more than 4,000 studies, identified 56 that assessed whether gender transition improves the mental well-being of transgender individuals. The analysis concluded that 93% of the studies found positive effects from gender transition, including a, quote, robust international consensus in the peer-reviewed literature that gender transition, including medical treatments such as hormone therapy and surgeries, improves the overall well-being of transgender individuals, end quote.
It's a surprise tool that'll help us later.
And here's the study itself. Oh, the 51 studies. Well, there you go. It's all right there, black and white, clear as crystal. I can't believe this guy agreed to a debate. This is, I don't want to say anything too soon, but this is gonna not go well for him. I don't know if it cures gender dysphoria, but it does severely reduce the symptoms. Yeah, but you got my point. It treats it. Imagine the cost just to have a machine tell me shit I already know. Yeah, right. Link in chat. Oh, for this? Yeah. Here, I'll do it for both YouTube and Twitch. Why was that Mickey Mouse impression actually good? Oh, I do a really good Mickey Mouse. Oh, that wasn't good, but you get my point. Yeah, that's a good one to keep in the back pocket.
Pamphlets and the studies that are still given to parents currently. And of course, society doesn't know that.
Society.
Because you don't cover it. We now have children's hospitals all over Europe, halting and banning all childhood medical transition, calling it the worst medical scandal in modern history.
Do we? Where? Source.
Yet here in the United States, we have bigots.
It's not hard
everywhere.
At all, Catboy.
We have transgender people. We have gays and lesbians trying to talk. And people that are not trans and not gay and lesbian are calling us bigots.
Yes, correct. Correct. And I stand by that. Because I don't belittle people. I don't infantilize your grown-ass man self when you say something wrong just because you're a trans person. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to afford you that luxury, you sniveling little coward. When you're wrong, you're wrong.
I underwent close to $1 million worth of surgeries and hormone therapies to change from Kelly.
Suck my cis dick.
Just got a trans man. And then I almost died in the process. And I certainly have cut many, many years off of my life. In fact, I probably won't live long enough to meet my grandkids because I still, to this day, get recurring infections. Nobody knows why. But again, 95% of all medical transition is experimental, except for top surgery. We have no idea what's going to happen to these kids because it's never been studied.
It's been studied for like 40 years. We have like 40 years worth of research from the 1980s on puberty blockers. Like, what are you talking about? Wasn't the first surgical procedure from like 1930 or something? Like, it was really early on in the 1900s, at least relatively speaking, from like these people, what these people would have you believe. Like, we've done this shit. We've been around this corner. Does he know all medicine is experimental at some point? They don't care. You think they give a shit? I got news for you. At some point, there was a child who was the first child to receive cancer treatment. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, experimental. Oh, what are we gonna do? We can't cure his cancer. He's got yeah, fuck off. Yeah, okay. And sometimes things need some time to see if they work. It's been through testing. Scientists test this shit over and over and over and over again before they ever hit human trials. Okay, ever. They're like 99.9% certain before they ever even consider giving it to a human that this is safe and effective every time, okay? And if something goes wrong, they immediately cut it. Like if something goes severely wrong, okay? Instantly. These people have no clue how science works. None. They just think that they woke up one day and all the medicine in the world was just there, sitting there with all the instructions on it, all the prescription indications on it. Yeah, no, it was all experimental, bitch. Very good point. Thank you.
But we are seeing early onset osteoporosis. We are seeing
true
hearts and
Catboy
lungs the size of 12-year-olds. And if you couple that with the only long-term study that followed these transgender people for 30 years in Sweden, Sweden is a leading country for transgender medicine. 2 months ago, they halted and stopped all medicalization of children. You know why? Well, there's a documentary.
Sweden's not the leading country, but okay, who the fuck actually believes that? Sweden's the leading country for
transgender medicine.
I don't know the truth of that, and I don't care. Doesn't matter.
2 months ago, they halted and stopped all medicalization of children. Do you know why?
They halted and stopped all medicalization of children. They like just all medicine was no more. I think that was a misspeaking on his part, but like I'm not willing to give him that what is it? I can't think of words right. Words. Come to me, words.
Well, there's a documentary that you won't find here in the United States.
We'll see you there.
But they're finding something in addition. Girls' spines are not fusing together properly while on puberty blockers. We have 15-year-olds walk.
I don't think that's true at all. Also, I love how he says girls' spines. Well, he says he himself is a girl, so you know he's fully in the grift tank.
Like this for the rest of their lives, and they won't live past 30.
Thank you so much. No, thank you, Catboy Collector. Thank you for agreeing to come on very suddenly, I might add. It'll be hugely beneficial to have a trans man there with me.
You say he's a bigot. You see, I tried to kill off my female self because I was sold a lie. I was sold that I was actually a man trapped in a woman's body. That my masculine traits and my strong personality were proof that I was really a man. I was told that all my pain and self-loathing would magically disappear if only I pumped my body with testosterone, removed my breasts, and altered my genitalia. I was tricked at 42 at a vulnerable place. One day I thought, God, maybe I'm born in the wrong body. I was married to a woman who just despised being a lesbian. And one comment of maybe I was born in the wrong body. Next week, I was sitting in front of a trans woman therapist who asked me, how long have you been dressing like a man? At 42, that sentence has changed the trajectory of my life. You guys don't seem to understand that I'm not going to meet my grandkids.
It's a skill issue, man. I'm sorry. Like I said earlier, he's going to give okay, I can already see the trajectory of this debate. Are you ready? It's going to be a lot of this. Well, this study says this and that study says that. Alec, did you just look a boot? Not for real, idiot. It was a little bit. By the way, Catboy, do you know what he's talking about when he says in the Matt Walsh documentary, he says, after 7 to 10 years, trans people end up regretting it the most after that time. Like, where does that come from? Do you know? Because if he says that, I'm going to call source on him. Like, he better have his source hot and fresh. That's BS for real. Yeah. Like, every time that they claim these things, they're either incorrectly interpreting results of studies or they're just lying. I'm going to call source on that. And if he says, trust me, bro, I'm going to say, no, give me your source or I'm not believing you. Like, I have no reason to believe you.
Because of this crap. And you call him a bigot. You see, yes. I was perfect just the way I was. If only I was told,
yeah, I looked for it
earlier,
tell
girls, because it's happening to girls way more than boys, is that there is no one way for a woman to be a woman.
True.
And there's no one way for a man to be a man.
True.
Why don't we start affirming that it's okay to be who they are?
Then go back to being a woman. Go back to being a woman then. You're still a fucking man. You go be a woman. You can just do that. You can just put on a dress and be a woman again. You can put a stuffer with a bra on. Go be the woman that you were meant to be if you want to be a woman so fucking bad, you cuck. Oh my God, I hate these people.
No, what we're doing is we're pushing a medical process that if a child gets on it at 14 and lives to 85, that generates $1.5 million in synthetic hormone.
Shut down all medicine. They all make money. They all profit.
You guys get
that? Shut it down. No more insulin.
That doesn't even cover.
No more knee replacements. No more heart transplants. They all profit.
And yet you call him a bigot. And you don't.
Does Scott not realize the right would be saying he needs conversion therapy for being a lesbian as a woman? It doesn't matter. There's no, like, he would just say then that he's not he would go along with the grift. What do you mean? He sold his soul. He is a husk of a human. I came into this not knowing very much about him. I have zero respect left for him. I respect him more than he respects himself simply by properly gendering him and calling him a father and not a fucking mother. Like, holy shit. Like, that says so much. Like, he doesn't even respect himself as much as I respect him, and I have zero respect for him. His self-respect is subterranean. It's negative. It's insane. They don't have any morals. They don't have any misgivings about things that conservatives might do if they lean too far into the grift. They don't care. They'll go along with it like a leaf in the breeze until it gets swept up by a fucking hurricane or some shit. I don't know. Like, that was a bad, it's a bad metaphor. But you get my point. Like, these people have no spine.
Talk to me. You show all of the people, trans women are women.
Yes.
We need to let children have the time to learn to love their natural bodies.
No, conservatives don't want that either. You touch your... I grew up in a house where you weren't allowed to touch yourself. I'm just saying.
And embrace their differences. Because the truth is that the kids that are wanting to medically transition...
What did he say? He'll never meet his grandkids? His argument is that he'll die before he can. I don't know if that's
true.
Are
the most vulnerable parts of our society. They are the ones that are same-sex attracted. This bigot, he's trying to protect gays and lesbians, future gays and lesbians. But you call him a bigot.
Okay, bigot.
They are children that are mentally gifted. They are children that have ADHD. They are children that are mentally ill. They are all the kids that don't belong.
Today I feel...
You're robbing that time that they need to gain a thick skin. Because at 25, being different, how many sane people have done anything major in this world? They're all different people. But you don't realize that until you're a CEO at 25. You're stealing that from them. Mm-hmm. With gender interventions, there are no takebacks. Puberty blockers are not merely a pause button. In fact, the corporation that's telling you puberty blockers are safe, that generates and produces all that puberty blockers that they say is a pause, it doesn't hurt. In 2003, they were sued by the...
Here it comes. We just went over this. Wait, he already hit this point. Is he lost in the plot? Is he lost in the sauce? He already hit this point. You're rehashing old points, brother. It's already rotten. You gotta throw that one out.
U.S. government deemed a criminal
Been out of the fridge all night.
For false advertising and bribery. They paid $874 million like that. The biggest payout at the time.
Because they were sued because the Lupron was too expensive. The people still wanted it. They just said that they couldn't afford it. They said that they were price gouging the Lupron, which they were. And that's why they settled the lawsuit. And then made Lupron cheaper and more readily accessible. This is such a cope, dude. What the fuck? That's insane.
More than OxyContin at the time.
And the OxyContin thing was totally different. OxyContin is addictive as fuck. And people just lied about it, okay? Not the patients. The patients became addicted. So you didn't have 99% of patients saying, yeah, the OxyContin was great and I got right off of it and my life's so great now. No, they all became fucking addicts. The data reflects that. People are so fucking dishonest, man. I swear.
Is a company that doesn't have the money to run studies on puberty blockers for children? Or is it that they know there is no doctor in the world that would sign on it that it's safe?
Yeah. Okay.
Shame on you for not covering him and me. In fact, Lupron has over 10,000 complaints from children that use them as precocious puberty.
Wait, so does he not want... Wait, so then does he not want kids who have precocious puberty to have Lupron? Also, 10,000 complaints. What the fuck? Like, how many kids have precocious puberty? Long-term effects and significant adverse drug reactions associated with the use of gonadotropin-releasing hormone analogs, GnRHA, for essential precocious puberty. That's, by the way, that's Lupron, just so you don't, in case you don't know. Well, what qualifies as a complaint? Is it just like a side effect? Like what? You got a tummy ache from taking the Lupron? Every drug and its precursor causes stomach aches. If that's an expected side effect, and one that most people suck it up and deal with, because the alternative is like literally suicide sometimes. Where are the complaints coming from? Yeah, no, I would need a source on this one. That's an easy source. That's an easy source call.
Testosterone, it's not reversible. Her son, 4 months on estrogen, and he might not be able to have babies at 14 because you won't cover it, and you call him a bigot. I ask this question. Are you really going to put stock in the AAP that follows WPATH?
By the way, cancer treatments also cause infertility. So if that's the argument you're going with, let's also ban cancer treatments. Which, of course, their response to that is, but cancer treatments save lives. You'll literally die without it. Oh, boy, do I got news for you about gender dysphoria and puberty blockers. Man. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Actually, I could use the recent clip we just went over. Kelly, what's her name? Kelly Cadigan? Yeah, Kelly Cadigan, saying that puberty blockers literally saved her life. I'm just saying, you know? Oh, you want to talk about life-saving measures? Well, there you go.
Which is supposedly the
Might be
baseline for
super
care.
high. That's okay. Actually, I shouldn't get high.
An entity that
Well,
not
of course,
only
'cause I don't get high.
accepts, pushes the idea that eunuchs is a gender for minors. An agency that is supposed to be the baseline for care has never held up in any court of law.
Wait, what? Is that? I don't know the truth of that. It doesn't matter. It's a nothing statement.
Anywhere. Yet you won't cover it, and you call him a bigot. So I ask that you do the hard thing
True,
today.
bigot.
I know this is your industry, and God forbid, if you step outside of your house, your family, your Republican, Democrat, conservative, Republican, and do the right thing. But if you do, I'll tell you one thing. You will be called a bigot today.
Rightfully so.
But those bigots in history will go down as heroes. So are you in the media that can save these kids? Are you going to do the right thing and cover?
By the way, he sees himself as one of those heroes. He's doing this speech, and the entire time, I don't even think this guy's a grifter. I think that this guy has fully sold himself to this idea. I think that he's drowning in Kool-Aid, okay? I truly think that this guy thinks he'll go down as one of the good guys. I don't think that Matt Walsh thinks that. I think he knows what he's doing, and he's a fucking demon. But not this guy. This guy's just drinking. He's gulping this stupid juice. Like, his brain is just a pile of mush. There's no saving him.
And investigate and ask questions and interview everybody? Or are you just going to sit there and record?
Hitler was a hero, I guess. There's some context where it's good to bring up the fact that the Nazis burned trans books first, but I feel like that's usually a weak argument unless they directly bring up the fact that, like, you're a Nazi if you support trans rights, which is insanely stupid, of course. You have to have an IQ of like 50 or lower to believe that. But anyway, there was one more thing that I wanted to go over real quick before we end the segment, and that is his website. Yes, he has a website. It's not as cool of a name as my website that I will soon be streaming on, alecgunter.com, the domain of which I got to reserve for $5, which is a pretty sweet deal. It's worth $60 now, mind you. So good investment there. Anyway, I digress about that. trevoices.org. Here we go. Here you can find all the good shit about trans man with no space. We talked about that earlier in stream. For those who are watching on YouTube, if there's no space, that's a red flag. That means that you're talking to a TERF. Trans man Scott Newgent, okay? Fighting to stop childhood medical transition worldwide. Cool. So J.K. Rowling has some thoughts on him. Scott, you've been a hero of mine for quite some time. I'm J.K. Rowling. I wrote the Harry Potter book. It's me. Hello, bruv. It's a fantastic overview. Bravo, Scott. Thank you so much for publishing this. Well-renowned person, Veronica. Well-known individual and notable individual, Veronica, from the famous date of February 9th, 2021, that everyone remembers as the day that Veronica said this about Scott. Apparently, Veronica is also a cat or something. Who the fuck's Veronica? Okay. Oh, from Cassandra. Okay. Now we have a Cassandra. Thank you for giving a voice to all the false positives affected by this modern-day medical scandal. Transgender people and detransitioners deserve better healthcare. We all do, but you guys don't want that, which is not what they are getting. All of these medical interventions are applied outside of experimental protocols. That's a lie, of course. Many media outlets turn the other way. That's a lie, of course. So thank you for offering room to dissenting opinions, because Scott is right. Our children are worth it. Who knows? Somebody said it somewhere. Somebody. I was going to say that this thing is covering. Wait. 4th of December. They have time travelers. They have time travelers endorsing it. Okay, I take it all back. I take it all back. It's over. It's over. I take it back. He's right. He was right all along. We have word from the future that Scott was right all along. Melanie from the future. Oh my, how is this time traveling? Look at the date. We're recording this on June 2nd in 2023. Oh my, yeah. Melanie came backward from 2023, from December of this year. And she was like, Scott, Scott, you're the only one that can save humanity from puberty blockers, Scott. Keep screaming, Scott, she said. Keep screaming. I'm from the future, Scott, damn it. My name is Melanie and I'm from the future and you've got to get the word out. Oh my God. Obviously, this was a typo. The reason that I'm making such a joke about it, first of all, it's hilarious as fuck. Second of all, holy shit, this website is so bad. Like when I said it's bad, I meant the interface, but Melanie. But like, look at this. What? Like, I was gonna say that this person got dicked over because this what is a woman thing is covering them, but their name isn't even here. Who structured this? Who's doing this? September 13th, 2023. Where are these people coming from? All these time travelers. Okay, wait. I can understand making the mistake once. What the fuck is this? Did they prepare like random statements to release later and they just got the dates wrong? What is happening? Oh my God. What a reliable source of information. Listen, I'm sold. I'm sold. I still want to know more about this dude's transition background. Well, apparently it was awful, but he still identifies as a man, so it couldn't have been that awful. I did not look at this website before we began this segment. I did not think it was this bad. Oh my God. Oh my God. People fall for this. Oh my God. Guys, we live in hell. Enough funny business, guys. People fall for this. They fall for this. Oh, it's over. It's over. Humanity's done. Humanity's done. It's over. They should have come from the future to warn him that, like, humanity... Okay, so from June... Wait! Another few... Wait! Matt Walsh coming in from June 11th, 2023! That's only 9 days from today! Scott Newgent is the hero of the film, he says. Matt Walsh, what is a woman? With one quotation mark on the left side and no caps. Apparently, he released What is a Woman 2? Electric Boogaloo. Crying, how long has he been out? He was 42. Wait, he was 42 when he No, you're lying. He was 42 when he transitioned? Wait, no, that's not real. No, you're lying. No, that's a lie. Okay, I'm calling you out. You gotta source that. In the speech? Wait, did I miss that? Where in the speech did he say that?
At 42. That sentence has changed the trajectory of my life. You guys
No. You misunderstood. He's saying he was in the therapist office at the age of 42. And no, he was in the therapist office at the age of 42 and was asked that statement, and that changed his life. That's what he's saying. You're misinterpreting what he said. Man, your Tennessee speech breaks me every time, especially the scream louder after addressing twice that you are perfectly able to get louder and louder and can't be shouted down. It was almost poetic how perfect it was, and the entire thing was emotional as hell. From crackpot astronaut, from renowned movie critic crackpot astronaut. At least this guy's not from the future. I mean, they got me there. Oh my God. I can't. Oh, it's so bad. From crackpot. You couldn't have made up a name for him. I don't know if I can do this. If I go in tomorrow, I'm just going to laugh at the dude. What the Okay, if this gives away that he was 42 when Nuh-uh. I'm 48 years old, transgender man who transitioned at age... Okay, it's over. I'm done. I can't. Wow. I was wrong. I'm... How does this happen? How does this happen? I've been gendering longer than him and I'm 20. Dog, he's... Oh my God. Which, by the way, I also want to point out that speaks volumes about the potency of testosterone. Like, holy shit. And I can speak from experience, but also, like, he's living as a female until age 42. Like, damn. But also... The grift goes deep. It's not even the grift going deep. This is like, I almost wonder if they were like, hey man, like they just took a person who didn't care whether they were a man or a woman. And they were like, hey, we got a job for you. You want to do it? And he was like, oh yeah, sure. Why not? And he just fucking transed his gender. Like in an ideal world where like you're not gendered from birth, this person would have been like non-binary or like dual gender, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They were just like, oh yeah, sure, why not? Fuck it. Like, fuck it. I could use the money. Hey, why not? Hey, shit. Like, my husband don't care. Fuck it. We ball. Fuck it, we ball. I've known longer than him. He found out at 42 and is 47 now. It's not necessarily that he found out at 42. Guys, I do want you to be careful because it is very possible that he was closeted until 42, right? And he was just never able to like fully realize his goal. That is a possibility. But at the same time, the fact that he's now grifting leads me to the conclusion, the logical conclusion, that this is all just a dishonest grift. It's all just dishonest. You know what I mean? I have no reason to trust him on anything. Anything. By the way, if you are watching right now, since I sent you my Twitch channel, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? Like, what is... Like, at least have a decent website. What the fuck is wrong with you? At least have a good website. Crackpot Astronaut! A raving endorsement from Crackpot Astronaut. What the fuck is wrong with you? At least have the optics, man. Another time traveler. Scott Newgent, speaking truth. Helen Dance a Lot from September 13th, 2023. Ah, yes. Oh, good. Not from the future. Scott, I can't tell you, from the Daily Wire, Lisa Daluz. Scott, I can't tell you how much your words mean to me when I read them. I'm riveted to the core because I hear and sense your undying love for your children. That's a boring one. That's boring. Give me the good shit. I'm spoiled now. Oh, good. This one just has a year on it. Tennessee State Police estimate up to 3,000 people attended Matt Walsh rally to end child mutilation. Okay, well, that is just a fact. A statement of fact. People in the Twitch chat got on T at 16. Yeah, that's like the standard age. That's a pretty standard age. They're actually considering moving it earlier. I don't know where I stand on that, but I mean, if you've been living as a trans man your entire life, cis men are on, they have natural releases of testosterone as early as 10 years old. Parents, 9 times out of 10, do need to be involved. There is like a rare case. There is the rare case where like a state will be understanding of a child's plight and they'll have like religious parents and they'll go through with the transition anyway. But that doesn't happen that often. Okay, we got another time traveler. Funnily enough, I didn't know that they would be inventing time machines in a few days here. That's crazy. I'm so glad that this article... I'm so glad to see this article on Epoch Times. I've been aware Scott Nugent's work for a while, period. This article hits the nail on the head. Thank you, Scott, for speaking out, and thank you, Epoch Times, for publishing this. No! This is the first article I have seen on trans kids that sound sane. Scott, how did you do it? From John Y. on October 2020. I would love to know which article. Okay, this is the article. Oh, good. I have to subscribe to read it. Oh, that's great. Love that. Okay, I think that's enough. Gays Against Groomers and Scott Nugent's Rainbow Rebellion. 10:30 a.m. Location TBD. St. Louis Pride protest. There you go. He'll be there. If you want to ask him the secrets of time travel. Trans activists. Trans have been speaking out against medically transitioning children, puberty blockers, and using opposite pronouns to birth gender for years. If you believe that adult trans, again, agree with medically transitioning children, you are sadly mistaken. Trans, it's so weird, have been trying to stop this for years, but mainstream media only promotes the medicalization of children, as a human rights issue. It is not, it is plain old-fashioned greed and it's wrong. From Screaming Louder. No, not from Screaming Louder. That's just a thing that is said here with no name attached to it. Trans people, transportation transfer. Apparently a transporter that takes you to the past. I'm not going to let go of that time traveling thing. That's fucking hilarious. Okay, I've seen enough. I really thought that I would have to do I thought this would be a really boring segment. I thought that we would have to do research and figure out this guy's arguments. This is garbage. This is insane. What? This is a joke, right? People believe this shit? Are you kidding me? This is just sad. I don't even have adjectives to describe how sad this is. Okay, my brain's broken. What the fuck was this? Here's my prediction for the debate, okay? The entire debate is going to be him talking about his own experience as a trans man, which, by the way, began at the age of 42, the tender, impressionable young age of 42, and how he was taken advantage of, etc., etc. That's bullshit. Okay, he started fucking transitioning at 42. I'm not going to try to hold that against him, at least at first. I'm going to try to argue on the merits of his arguments. But if he starts talking about, like I predict he will, about his personal experiences as a trans man, it'll be really good to have Catboy there, because he'll be a great juxtaposition to somebody who has only lived as a trans man, I should say, a very brief amount of time in comparison. It lends a lot of credence to our arguments. But on top of that, even without Catboy, all you have to do is say your experience is not correlative to the collective experience of all trans people as shown by the data. Just because your nephew-in-law, whatever, got decapitated by a seatbelt, that doesn't mean that we outlaw seatbelts. That's stupid. No, because clearly trans care, given the data that we have, has saved lives, as reported by the people themselves, overwhelmingly. So, all this is bullshit. And on top of that, your website sucks. And you've only been a man for far fewer years than I have, despite being twice my age. And also L plus co plus ratio. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload. You can join my channel membership at youtube.com/AlecGuntherTTV/join for only 99 cents a month. That's less than the price of a blowjob from your mom. You can be part of the channel membership program and you will get early access content, as well as a sweet badge next to your name and exclusive emojis in the comments that nobody else gets. Thank you again, and I will see you all in the next video.